once again, if I'm forced to pick every game, I'm horrible. I'm horrible. I don't know who has the time to think about this stuff. I try, and it's still horrible. Nonetheless, the only games that I actually bet on this week were the San Francisco 49ers, the New Orleans Saints, and the New York Giants. What are you going to do? 3 for 3. Plus the Yankees. It was a good day yesterday. Here's what we learned this week in the NFL. I think the Chicago Bears are a good football team because that game was 3-3 at halftime, right, Rick?
Yeah, 38 unanswered.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the Jaguars are obviously very bad, and Blaine Gabbert is terrible.
Horrible.
Just terrible. He might get better, but he ought not be.
It's only his second year.
He ought not be playing right now. I think he should take a step back. And we've gone over this. They have some good players on that team, and they have a competent backup quarterback who's proved to be incredibly average in Chad Henne. Like, he's an NFL quarterback, and he's a much better player than Blaine Gabbert right now. Much better player. He can get the ball to open receivers. He can get the ball downfield. But anyway, they're with Blaine Gabbert, a quarterback, they're terrible. When was the last time 2 guys returned interceptions for touchdowns in back-to-back games?
About 50 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The exact. So Tillman and Briggs ran back 2 against the Cowboys on Monday night, and they ran back 2 against the Jaguars on Sunday.
Yeah.
That was weird. I thought I couldn't be remembering it right when I saw Briggs running it back, and then Tillman. It was like the same thing happened.
The only difference was that Briggs didn't have to juke an offensive lineman.
He didn't. That was a great move he made on Monday night. And the other difference is that the first game he was playing against an NFL quarterback, and in this game it was against Blaine Gabbert. But nonetheless, you go on the road and you score 38 unanswered points in the second half. You're good. You're in some way good. And the quarterback, Cutler, looked good too. We also learned.
But hey, how much? I mean, you can have possibly a more. I'll always have an objective perspective with my teams, but let me ask you this: they were playing a horrible team. How much should I look into this, and should I even look into this as a good win against a bad team on the road?
Yeah, you win. First of all, it's the NFL, and it's the new era of the NFL, and a win on the road is a good win. They're all good. You take somebody apart, they seemed in a different league, playing at a different speed with a different level of strength and a different level of smarts than the other team. That's a good win. There's no way around it. When I say the Bears are good, it doesn't mean they're not going to go 9-7 or something's going to go wrong or they get some significant injuries or they'll have some letdown games. But that looks like a playoff team, especially with the real possibility now. You have to think there's only 11 games left to play. You're 2 games ahead of the Packers. You can win the division. It can be done. So that's the way they ought to be thinking. But you've got to think that they're a good bet to get one of those 2 wild card teams. But who knows? They go 10-6 and miss the playoffs.
Or they could easily come down with horrible injuries like last year with Cutler and Forte and all of those.
They're in the same.
Anything can happen. But I'm just saying.
They got the same possibilities of horrible injuries as everybody else. And this will go back to a point I've made on TYT Sports ad nauseum forever, going back to pre-TYT Sports, just TYT. They have a competent backup quarterback. You don't automatically lose if Jason Campbell has to play, and that was a significant addition for the Bears to make this offseason.
Well, I think we're done with the Craig Krenzels of the Chicago Bears as backup quarterbacks.
Or what was the dude who came in the championship game, who's no longer there?
Caleb Haney. Out of the Colorado State University.
Right. Colorado State, the Rams. So I think the Bears are good. And the Packers got issues. This this can't just keep being an accident for the Packers. So I think one of the things you learn is the Bears are a serious team. They're one of the 6 or 7 best teams in the league. And it'll be up to see what kind of player Jay Cutler is as we go forward to see how good the Bears are.